Hi guys, we are back. Hi Harry, how are you, bro?
Doing well.
Well, we have got some absolutely mind-blowing stuff for you today. This really is fasten your seatbelt, and it's all thanks to Harry because he saw something and he just went OMG. So before we get going, a couple of things. First is, of course, welcome to all our new subscribers. If you're familiar with our work, you know that we promote this particular VPN service. $70 a year. We get 30% off, and so do you. So it brings it down to like $49, $50, whatever it is. So less than $1 a week. You can use the same account on 2 devices that you put on your laptop, your computer, your phone, whatever you want. Or, you can put it on one of your devices and one of your partner's devices. Basically, what it does, it links your internet connection through another country. So it maintains your privacy, basically. So link will be in the description for that. If you want to sign up, the after sales service, by the way, is brilliant, really, really good. The other thing that I want to let you know is if you're not familiar with Paul Cook, his YouTube channel is the same name, Paul Cook, C-O-O-K. We had a couple of hour Zoom chat last night. He's in the UK. And we're going to try and get the 3 of us together later this week. A lot of what Paul does is very, very similar to what Michelle Gibson does. So, and I know you guys are all familiar with Michelle's work. So it's going to be pretty interesting. As I say, I had a chat with him last night. We talked about I explained the copy and paste scenario to him, and he just a light came on. He just went bing, ping. He answers all the questions. So we're going to take that to another level today. Let me share the screen with you. We're calling this the dogs of Tartaria. Why we can't wake up our friends and family and many people around us. And as I say, strap yourselves in, guys, because this is going deep. Excuse me. Okay, so a dog. A dog is a dog. Yet a dog isn't a dog. There are many, many kinds of dogs, but they're all dogs. Can we say the same for cats, horses, cows, pigs? Of course we can. There are many different breeds of all these animals. And another word for dog is canine. And if you had if you remember the Doctor Who series from a few years ago in the UK, they had a robot dog and it had the letter K and 9 on it. K just happens to be the 11th letter of the alphabet. Nothing to see here. Please move along. Now, a dog is also a hound. And the word hound can be heard in the word scoundrel. And you came up with this, Harry. Scoundrel in Latin is condere or condere, which means to hide. What is being hidden? Okay, so we have many different breeds of dogs and we have many different humans. We have black, white, Asian, Indian, Eskimo, etc. But let's go deeper. This is what Harry kind of came up with, and to be honest, it blew me away. So this is a standard soccer ball, okay? But when people talk about the shape of the where we live, they don't call it a sphere, they call it a ball or a globe, a glow ball. There are a total of 32 patches on a standard soccer ball. 12 are black pentagrams and 20 are white hexagrams. So that gives us 5 sides and 6 sides, 56, 65. And also, we're caught, the ball gets caught in a net. Look at the net, all 6-sided shapes. The numbers 56 and 65 have been rampant throughout this Lyris. I'm not going to waste time here going through it, but if you check out Zachary K. Hubbard's channel, he's done loads of work. Gematria Effect News is his other one, and the 56 and 65 have been rampant all the way through this. Now, your 20 and 12, put them together gives us 2012, and we were told that was going to be the end of the Mayan calendar, which of course was copied from the original. And what about all these civilizations that we're told that died out? The Peruvians, as I say, the Mayans. What happened to them? Well, we'll show you. 20 plus 12 is 32. Include the ball itself, and you get 33. Nothing to see here. Now, I've spoken about this guy's channel before. I've just put up a screenshot because I don't know how you pronounce the name. God gave lamps, but we refer to him as the Crater Earth guy. And he's put together some awesome information, some awesome videos demonstrating or talking about the Earth basically being a much bigger circular globe, with each realm being a crater. You know, he talks about this realm being a crater. So very, very interesting stuff. And it was because of his work that we managed to put this together. So there you have the original realm. Each black pentagram being a realm surrounded by ice. The 6 white hexagons, that would represent Antarctica in this particular realm. And there it is, all level, all flat, but together making a ball. And Harry found this hexagon and pentagon arrangements of a soccer ball. Very interesting pattern. So, copy, paste, delete. We spoke about this. If you look at our original copy and paste video, where we actually show you the biblical verses that talk about the deletion, the removal. This is not an easy concept to understand. Each black section of the ball represents one realm. This is why we live on a globe ball, yet we don't. Each section is flat, but together they make up a ball. Remember, this realm is all about deception. And many of you have seen this. People laugh, but flat earthers know something. What do we know? Well, let's find out. We've all heard about ant people and aliens and greys, and, you know, they're also known as extraterrestrials. And extraterrestrial just means extra land. We all know that the known world has more land, or land that we don't know about, but let's go a bit deeper. So here's each realm represented in black, surrounded by snow or ice, Antarctica. What if so-called aliens or extraterrestrials just simply come from another black section on the ball, on the original ball? Because our black section has been copied and pasted. So if they came from another black section of the ball, that would be extraterrestrial, right? Ant people, mantis people, greys, and all the other dogmen, and all these other crazy things we've heard about. So whoever was in the original realm at the time of the copy and paste would have been copied and pasted here, because everything was copied, everything was pasted, and then certain things were deleted, as spoken about in Jeremiah 4, verse 23 to 28. He actually witnessed the destruction. If you're not familiar with this, in Genesis 1:2, the earth was without form, comma, and void. The word was in the original Hebrew is became or came to pass. So let's get back to the dog idea, because Harry's going to chip in a minute with this. There are basically three types of humans, in inverted commas, in this realm right now. The first would be the descendants of the copied Tartarians. Now, they would be all of us in the truth community, all of us who are quote unquote awake. We chose to incarnate into this fake realm in order to try our best to rescue our unaware cousins. Number two would be the Yehudans. We got the name from John Lamlash. This is the Genesis 1:27 creation. If you read Genesis 1:28, they were told to go out and replenish the earth, subdue it, reign over it, have dominion over it. These people are what me and Harry refer to as the scum. Now look at the verse 1:27. What happened 20 years ago? What was the date of the Pearl Harbor? Same numbers, guys. And the number three, this would be the creation of man, as described in Genesis 2:7. But, you know, if you look at the KJV, the headline above Genesis 2:7 is the creation of man, but man was already created in Genesis 1:27. So the Genesis 2:7 are the NPCs, because they were created to be workers or slaves. The Mexican equivalent to the Old Testament, or Mexican text equivalent to the Old Testament, this is called the Popol Vuh. I shall create a worker, man shall be his name. I will create a worker so that the gods may have their ease. The gods being Genesis 1:27 creation. From the Mahabharata, I fear you will not agree to do this thing, so I alone must bear the sin. Talking about Genesis 2:7 creation. And the Bible tells us we're born into original sin, which is the car, the body. Our job is to try and awaken those who still have the Tartarian connection, the Tartarian bloodline. They are lost souls, just like we were, guys. We were all lost souls until we woke up. We have no idea who they are, so we just keep trying. As you get the concept of this, it becomes absolutely obvious. Most of us, the awakened, will die when our script ends, and we will never take the NPCs will either die or become eternal slaves to the Genesis 1:27, as was destined from the beginning. We've done a whole podcast on going into the light. We have nothing to fear except inconvenience. All these lockdowns and everything that's going on. Okay, we're not happy, but it's an inconvenience. The ball's in your court, or the ball's in and your court. It's our job to get out of here. It's our job to help as many people as we can get out of here, to never come back to this fake realm. It's getting more and more obvious by the day, more and more obvious by the day with this this nonsense that's happening all over the world. Go and look at this guy, God Gev Lamst, and look at you can see here, look, crater Earth, arch, crater Earth, crater Earth, crater Earth. Talking about all of these, what we're saying would be the black realms, They're all craters. And it would be cool, Harry, you know, if we went back into the original realm, maybe we could travel between these. We could go to these different realms. I mean, you know, some of the biblical characters lived to be 700 years old. I mean, what would you do for 700 years in one realm? I mean, would it not be advantageous if you could travel to each one? I mean, there's only 12 on them.
Yeah, I think that in the original realm, each of those locations was a place of experience, a place of learning, growth, strengthening, maybe even revitalizing. That would definitely extend the lifespan by, say, 12 times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 12, 8, 72, 720 years. Yeah. So if you live 80 years in each realm, that would be long enough, wouldn't it?
Yeah, enough to be able to ascend and become that fractal God that you were meant to be.
Do you want to tell everyone what you were telling me earlier? I know you said you're going to prepare something for another podcast, but do you want to tell our guys about the dog and the God connection that you found in that text?
Yeah, well, I'll give a brief. I started looking into, we always talk about dogs and God, and we've been really emphasizing the fact that the two words are exactly opposite. God, dog spelled reverse. And we talk about the God being the higher self, and we talk about the God being the avatar. The dog being the avatar.
Yeah.
But there's definitely linguistically, of course, we know English is a manufactured language created far downstream from all the original Sanskrit and maybe Greek, Hebrew languages. But if you dig deep enough, and I started digging today, you can ultimately find a connection between the word, the ancient meaning of God and the ancient meaning of dog, and you can find those connections. And there is an actual thread that runs between the two. And I'm not going to go into that right now, but I will tell you that there is a link. And so that's why I believe, I don't believe, I know. I know that connection was purposely done. Logan would say that it's programmed into this game that we're in. And I did want to also tell everyone that I did get a chance to watch The Revolver, that movie. Excellent call by our subs that recommended that movie. And but the bottom line is, yes, I have found that connection. And it's funny, the soccer ball. I was just driving one day, and the truck in front of me had a picture of a soccer ball in front of it. And I started to think, I wonder how many patches are on that ball. And I thought, man, I bet you there's 32. And then by the time I went and looked it up, on a standard ball, there is the 32. So it's just interesting how things just come to you. I didn't look for it; it just found me. So it's pretty.
Yeah. Cool. What I found is that the more we learn, the more we understand, the more information we get. Right? It's really, really weird how it works. It's almost like, oh, you've got that, so you're ready for this. Yes. So all this information is downloaded or it's fed to us in some way.
Yeah.
We don't come across it. We don't come across it. It finds us. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not ready for it, it'll be a waste of time. So.
No. But if you're not, as you say, if you're not ready for it, you're not going to get it. You're not going to be given the information because you won't get it. Yeah. But yeah, Harry's going to knock up a presentation on this dog and God connection because it all ties in. It all fits in with everything that we've been talking about in the last few podcasts.
Yeah, and then the Creator Earth guy, he definitely has a few really good shows talking about the ant people, talking about the connection between the military side of how humanity originally probably never warred against itself, And
Well, I think
now,
we touched on that in the last one when we talked about the original realm being completely benevolent.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's only in this one that we have the duality
yeah.
of the good and the bad.
And somehow, from that other black realm, they came over to ours or created a new one or helped create it. And they taught us how to war against one another. So
Quite possibly, yeah. I think it was Scott Snitzer. He asked a question in the comments about the comment section just blew up, bro, didn't it? I mean, thanks, guys. I mean, your comments are awesome, intelligent, intellectual, absolutely awesome. Thank you, because we get a lot of information, and thanks to Sandra Northey, who recommended the Revolver movie, because Scott had asked a question in the comments. I watched the movie after Sandra had. I didn't realize it was Sandra. I sent her a message on Free to Find Truth and told her to watch it. And she said, "Hey, it was me that suggested it." Okay. But I watched that movie on Sandra's recommendation, and then I was able to come back and reply to Scott and gave the synchronicity was incredible. But basically, what he was talking about, and this is what Logan talks about as well, he calls the voice in your head the it, right? There was a Stephen King movie called It, if you remember. And we're all aware of the so-called angel on one shoulder and the demon on the other shoulder. And essentially, if you watch the movie Revolver, you'll understand that the angel is your God, your higher self, and the demon is your ego. And Sandra talks a lot about ego. If you go on Free to Find Truth, just type in the capital F, number 2, FT. That's Zach's website. It's absolutely great. There's some awesome people on there. And Sandra talks a lot about ego. And right at the end of the movie, you've got a few clips of the directors and the screenwriters talking. And they actually tell you at the end of the movie that the biblical Satan is the ego. So there are these two voices in your head, if you like. You've got the good guy, which is the guy holding the leash, because we're the dogs on the leash, and the ego, which is, yeah, I am going to go and do that. No, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to go and do that. That kind of thing. So very, very thought-provoking if you watch that movie, and it stars Jason Statham, and anything with Jason Statham, I will sit down and watch, for various reasons. I just think he's a good actor, and he plays some really good roles. So definitely a movie worth watching. Another one, if you haven't heard me mention it 6 million times or 10 million times, is The Adjustment Bureau from 2011 with Matt Damon. Big truth drop in there is how our individual lives are scripted. Go over to Decode Your Reality, which is Logan's channel. If you type it in on YouTube, the featured video is how to decode yourself. I strongly recommend you guys go and do that. It's about an hour long. He spells it out in easy to understand terms. I watched it, I decoded myself, and yeah, I can absolutely guarantee you that we're living in a big script, like a movie, but in the same way that a person playing a part in a movie, they have their own script as well, which is part of the bigger script. That is what this realm is.
Yeah, the only thing with Logan that I don't agree with is he says that we have no say in anything, and I say we do have a say up until we do go in and accept the part.
Yeah, when you pass over, if you go into the light, as we said last time, it's like going down the on-ramp onto the freeway and then realizing that you've made a mistake. You've got to go. Yeah. You've got to go the distance. Yeah. Yeah, but we've all got our own ideas. Nobody knows everything. We've all got stuff that we bring to the table, and if we continue to do that and feed up each other, as I say, when I had a chat with Paul, he was blown away because he'd never even considered it. He hasn't looked at our work, But he just went, oh my God, yeah, I've got it. It all fits. It all comes together. So that's what we've got to continue to strive to do. And we can't do that as well as we do without your comments, guys.
Oh yeah.
And we really do appreciate them.
Yeah, those comments are super, especially this last one. I think we had over 200 comments on this last video, and in just about 3 days. It wasn't that long. The other thing too is the comment I made on is that we don't want only like-minded ideas on there. We want as much variation and diversity as possible, because that is what sparks our minds to work in a different way. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're looking into a mirror, talking to yourself. That's not going to get you really anywhere.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you know, I think the most important thing is, you know, we can't prove any of this, guys, right? We know we can't prove it. We're just putting the ideas out there. But so far, nobody has been able to debunk it. Nobody's come up with that. Oh, that's a crazy idea. That's a crazy notion. Or just look around. Just look around what's happening all over the world. You know, this, and you know, it can't happen. It can't be allowed to happen. If we just for the purposes of conversation, let's assume that the original creation was created by something, right? If that creation is hijacked and destroyed, there's got to be ramifications. There has to be. But if you copy it, paste it, you can delete whatever you want, because you're not harming the original, right? You're not hurting the original. And it's just down to people like us to be able to realize that what's happened, and that we can get out. And once you understand that your own personal life is scripted, which we must have agreed to that script before we came here, which is why we've had all these little signs along the way. When I look back, you know, right to my age 11, that's when the 11 started appearing. You know what I mean? And when I look back now over the last sort of 40 years, the amount of times that it's cropped up. I mean, you know, I only noticed this the other day. Where I am now, right, is a friend's, it's an apartment block that my friend lives in. And her and her husband have recently had a child. And so, you know, they found another room in the apartment block for me, because it's not convenient now. But every time I came to this town over the last 3 years, I stayed in my friend's apartment. It's number 1010, which is 11, right? And when I spoke to her before I came here, she said, "Look, Nigel, no problems. You know, I'll find an apartment for you." It's number 704. Can't make this up. The floor's 11. You know, you can't make this stuff up. So once you realize that your life has been scripted from day one, then you've got to ask, well, who scripted it? Who wrote the script? So once you put all this together and understand that, you know, those of us who can see what's going on, deliberately came here, made a conscious decision to come here in order to help wake up the stranded Tartarian bloodline that were copied over 500 years ago, or the descendants of those that were copied over 500 years ago. It all makes sense. As crazy and stupid as it sounds, it's logical. You can't debunk it.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. If someone can come up with something that will, you know, wrinkle our minds a little bit, bring it.
Yeah.
You know, over.
Yeah. Which is why the section is so important. Guys, if you go to the last video, the say 10, go to the comment section. There's an Italian guy in there. I'm sorry, I've forgotten your surname, but his first name is Jonathan. Now, if you go and read what this guy has written in the comments, it's profound, absolutely profound. He knows a lot more than he's giving away, and he actually says, look, you know, people are on their own journey. You know what I mean? Go and have a look. There's a conversation between him and purple.
Petunina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and read that conversation. It's profound. Absolutely. This guy is really, really knowledgeable. Really, really knowledgeable. And even he's not trying to debunk this this notion of the copy and paste idea that nobody else, as far as we know, nobody else has even looked at. You're only going to find this right now, I think, on this channel. You're not going to find it anywhere else because nobody else is talking about it. But hopefully they will. I mean, you know, you've got to share these videos, guys. As crazy as it sounds, if you think somebody can handle it, then share.
Yeah, the more people that hear this, the more people are going to comment, the more ideas we'll get. And then we just all grow from there, and we all have a better understanding of where we're really going. And hopefully we can avoid the light, remember to not go into it, and then free our higher self too.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this realm is all based on fear, right? And you know, everybody fears death. We're told to fear this and fear that. Once you get rid of fear, once you have nothing to fear, then you have nothing to fear. It really is that simple.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because
all right, guys, well, we've been going for half an hour. So anything you want to finish with, Harry?
Yeah, well, you said it, a fear of death. We have to understand that when you look at the duality of life and death, everything has this opposite, right? Couldn't it be that on the death side, it's just another life, and when that side, that life death side looks at our side, they weep in watching us?
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, if you die, would you even know you're dead?
Of course not.
Crazy. All right, guys. As I say, we've been going for half an hour, so we'll leave you in peace, and we'll see you in a few days with hopefully with Paul Cook. Cheers, guys.
All right. Take care.
Bye.